Join the Yoga Traveler membership where you will have access to the entire video library, over 80 videos and 200 plus hours of content to enjoy. yogatraveler.online/membership.
Welcome. Today we're going to be having fun with hip openers and being a little creative about how we open up our hips. Maybe you think hip openers are not very fun. Sometimes they're difficult, but we breathe through it and hopefully we get there together. That's our goal today. So sit nice and tall. Pull your shoulders back so you're relaxing through your neck and your chest. And send your gaze down just a little bit. There's length through the back of your neck. And start to breathe in and out, slow and steady, just through your nose if you can. This is Ujjayi breath. Whenever we come onto our yoga mats, we're always going to connect to our breath first. Our breath should be our guide through this practice. Going to help to relax our body. The breath is going to help us to determine what our body needs in each pose. Sometimes we can go deeper, sometimes we need to go not so deep. And today, hopefully our breath will allow us to have a little fun, opening up the hips. Open your eyes. Let's take our arms by our sides and we'll do a breath together in unity. Inhale, lift. Feel the energy around you. Press your palms together at the top. Exhale, bring your hands down through heart center. Good. Let's come on to all fours and let's start getting moving into our hips. So first, just be loose and free, almost like we're in a cat and cow position, but maybe a little bit wider, a little bit looser, and let's just start to move. So sway around, bring your body forward, bring your body from side to side. Really work out those kinks in your hips, in your back, your sacrum, your low back. This is important. We do two different kinds of movement in yoga. Sometimes we hold still and we stretch, which we will be doing today. And other times we're fluid and loose to warm our body, to ease pressure in joints maybe. This is all about just discovering the hips for a moment. Feeling them. Good. Good. Now hold the motion still. Bring your hands right below your shoulders, and we'll take cat and cow, which is for the spine, but also for the hips. So drop your belly down. Let's bend our elbows so we're a little bit looser into that low back, a little bit more free in our chest. And then as we round, really tuck your hips under. Feel the pull of the pelvis as we make space between each vertebrae. Inhale, arch, belly drops down, shoulders back, neck and throat exposed. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Good. Come back to neutral. Roll onto your toes. Lift your hips to the sky and press back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Feel free to pedal your feet. Maybe drop your heels to the floor one at a time. Press through the ankles. Feel that length through the calves, hamstrings, and back into the hips and the shoulders. Move as much as you want here or just hold still. You're in control. Do what you can. Then bend your knees and walk up toward your hands. and we'll let ourselves hang forward here. So keep lifting through the center, let yourself hang, loosen up your neck and your jaw, and then roll up through the spine. One vertebrae at a time, all the way up to the top. We're gonna keep this fluid movement in Sthira Namaskara A to keep our body, or to warm the whole body, and then move into our deeper hip poses. So here we go. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Take it down, all the way down toward the floor. You do not have to touch the floor, but do your best to reach. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or hop back to a plank. You can drop to your knees here if you want. Chaturanga, elbows bend, maybe hover. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Tip your chin toward your chest, press back. Once again, we're in our down dog. Another really great hip pose, if you want to adjust into a child's pose, you can. So option to come into child's pose. Good for the hips. Maybe a little bit gentler than a downward facing dog. You get to decide, right? You're the one on your mat. You choose. Good. Wherever we are, let's change. I'll return to downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Now bend your knees. Inhale, step or hop up to the hands. Exhale, fold down into your legs. Again, nice length through the backs of the knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti, arms by your sides. Let's take it again. Inhale, lift. Working to connect our breath with our body. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or hop back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Good, this time stay in our downward facing dog, don't go to child's pose. Let's lift the right leg, inhale, up and back behind you. Then bend your knee, feel how that opens up your hip. Maybe send your gaze underneath the right elbow, armpit there, right arm, to really open the space. And then let's bring our right foot forward in between our hands, drop the left heel down to the floor, raise up to Virabhadrasana A. In this pose, our hips are square, so they're pointed directly forward. We're gonna shift through our hips just a little bit, subtle changes to maybe feel the fluctuations of the hips. First, let's start with a twist. So bring your hands to heart center and guide your your left elbow down toward that right leg. So you also wanna pull the right hip back as you do, and maybe press your hands to heart center, or you can open up the arms. So we're feeling that outer right hip squeezing there. Nice press of the heel to the floor. Good. Good for the digestion. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands back to heart center, and inhale, lift back up to our warrior one. Equal out your hips and the weight right in between your hips. Now start to lead your torso forward. Options, we've got our blocks here. You can place your blocks as well. You see how I have them on the floor with the highest height lifted. So you can launch yourself to the blocks if you'd like and come into a standing L shape. Make sure your toe is pointing toward the floor so our hips are square. If you're a little more adventurous today, maybe you're in a warrior three pose. Doesn't matter. Either way, take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's start to change it. Bring your hands down. Maybe they're already down and that's fine. Start to lift your leg up to the sky. I'm going to take my hands off my blocks, perhaps wrap my hand around my back leg. And then once again, bend. Open up that hip back there. Really feel a little variation of a standing split here. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, straighten out the leg, bend your standing leg, your right leg, and let's take our left foot down to the floor and the knee to the floor. So a little bit easier, we're on the ground, although we're still feeling that right hip quite deeply. Now you can stay here, hands on the ground. You can bring your hands to your knee. You can reach your arms overhead. One more option just for a little bit of fun. Reach your left hand back. See if you can grab your foot. Woo, it's a balance. I just fell out of it. And hold. Good. Feel it. Inhale. Exhale, release. We're not going to hold it too long. There's a little pressure on the knee there. Feel free to put a blanket behind your knee. Then lean back into the left hip. But straighten out the right leg and the right calf as we fold. You can drop your head down. You can feel your hamstring. Those of you who love to do a split pose, feel free to come forward into a split. I'm not quite all the way down today. If this is not for you, then don't do it, right? Good. Wherever you are, one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good job. Let's bend once again. How do we get out of a split? Not very gracefully, probably. And step your feet forward. So you are in a forward bend. I'm gonna face the camera. My dog's gonna come say hi. This is Mochi. Let's bend our knees and come into Malasana pose. So both heels as best as you can on the floor. It's okay if you put a blanket underneath. I like to turn my toes out a little bit. It helps me to get some depth. You might find that that helps you as well. And just sit down in those hips. We're using our own body weight to put pressure on the hips. Nice job. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Mochi's gonna want a little love. Let's straighten up our knees and fold forward. Turn your feet back to parallel. And if you are able to, wrap your index finger and thumb around your big toe. Take a breath, look up, inhale. Exhale, pull yourself forward. So let your elbows bend and pull forward. Now you might also have your block in front of you. Option to be here, yeah, perfectly fine to do so. Just let yourself fold forward. Maybe you have your hands behind your legs and you're pulling. That's fine too. All options are good. We're just lengthening out the hamstrings after being bent. Take one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look up, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, bring your hands to your waist. Inhale, lift up the rest of the way. Nice work. We're gonna do the other side. So for my purposes, I'm going to move the blocks so we can go on to our other leg. First, starting with Vinyasa Surya Namaskara A. Here we go. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Step or hop back, drop to your knees if you want. Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good. Lift your left leg. Inhale, up and back behind you. And bend that left knee. Spin your gaze underneath your left arm. So you're feeling that opening of the hip. And then bring your left foot forward in between the hands. Drop your right heel. Raise up. Virabhadrasana A. So here, our hips are square, pointed straight forward. We can feel the energy in both feet. Take your hands to heart center and guide, this time the right elbow goes down to the left leg. Remember to pull that left hip back as you go down. Press into the hip, maybe hands that stay at heart center, maybe they open up. Squeeze through the middle, pull up and in through your center body. Good for digestion, good for the hips. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, bring your hands back to heart center, reach it up. Exhale. Good. Now moving toward our balance. Maybe you've got your blocks set. Use them if you want. Bring your torso forward. Inhale. Either reach for your blocks, standing L shape, toe points to the floor, or, and maybe need to scoot away from the wall a little, reach your arms forward so that you're in a warrior three. We're gonna make that left hip work, plus our abdominals working. Inhale, exhale. Everyone bring their hands to the ground or your blocks, and then see if you can tip that back leg even higher. Then let the knee bend, opening up the hip even more. Maybe grab onto your standing leg, or perhaps you're using your blocks, right? All options are good. This is intense. Inhale. Exhale, bend your left leg. Put the right foot down and drop the right knee. We found the earth once again. So we're sitting down into the hips. You can readjust hands to your knee or arms up overhead. Pull those shoulder blades down. Breathe deep. Inhale. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Good. Shift back into the right hip. Straighten out your left leg and fold over that left leg. Now you can stay right here. Feels great, then stay there. If you want more, maybe come into the split. A little bit deeper. I need to work on my splits a little more. I can feel it. It's a challenge for me today. That's okay. Every time we come to our mat, we figure out what our challenges are. We do what we can. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. We're gonna come out of this split, come out of the pose however you do it. Step your way forward up to your forward bend. Once again, I'm gonna turn towards you. Inhale. And then exhale down into Malasana. Now we're gonna have a little bit of fun this time with our Malasana, and we're gonna step. We're gonna walk around. So start walking. Woo, we feel it in the ankles, feel it in the hips. Go all the way around. You're as low as you possibly can, back to the front, but let's go the other way. This is fun, right? Woo! Walking, walking. I don't know what to call this, a frog walk or something. Woo! Oh my goodness. Oh, someone gave it a heart. I'm glad you liked it. Take a breath. Inhale. If anything, we just laugh, right? Exhale, hands down. Bring your feet back to parallel. Straighten out the knees, and if you are bendy enough to take your hands under your feet, do so now. If that is not an option for you, you've got your blocks and you're holding on to the blocks. Either way. So maybe hands underneath, or you've got your blocks. This is Padahastasana or some variation of it. And it's going to feel nice to lengthen out the backs of the legs. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Gently release your hands. Bring them to your waist. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and lift up. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Nicely done. I just realized something that I forgot, so we're going to tag it back in next. Don't worry, we'll get it. Maybe some of you remember what I forgot. All right, let's take a vinyasa. Bring ourselves down to the floor one last time to get even deeper into the hips. So here we go. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, look up halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good job. Pigeon pose. First, let's lift our right leg. Inhale, up and back behind us. Exhale, bend your knee, bring it forward in between your legs. So, as best as you can, parallel to the top of your mat, then walk that back leg back. Now, it may mean that you can't sit completely flat on your hip. So you might take your block underneath your right hip, prop yourself up so that you can sit a little more equally in between those hips. As you come forward, you may find that you don't need the block as much. Your body might relax. So if so, just let it go. We hope that our body relaxes. That's what we want to happen. So let's get as deep as we can. And let's just start really focusing on that breath. Slow and steady breathing to relax you. This pose is hard for me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna try to hide it. I like to want to get out of it. I want to escape right now. When you feel like you want to escape, that sometimes means that you need to stay even longer. So let's stick with it. Let's give it a few more breaths. Maybe for you this is easy. Could be. And blessings to you if it's easy. Not easy for me. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now come up. If you've got a block under your hip, remove it now, and let's all sit down on that right hip and bend your left knee. Pull your left leg back a little bit and see if you can grab your hand with your foot. You're using your right hand to kind of prop yourself up. If you're able to go deeper, you might put your foot in the crook of your arm. You might reach the right arm. You might even wrap behind. Some of you might be really bendy and can grab your foot with both hands behind your back. Unfortunately, I cannot demonstrate this for you. This is as far as my body goes. If you can do it, you know what it is. Proceed. More power to you. Good. Nice back bend. This gets our quadricep and hip flexor. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Nice job. Release it. Good. Put it down. Let's swing it around. Very nice. And take Janushirasana A on the right side. So bend, please, your right leg. Take your left foot, perhaps you put it in a strap. This is in case you can't quite reach your toes and it just lets you reach a little bit further. Sit tall, inhale, exhale, walk your way down that leg, down that strap. Once you've gone as deep as you can, take a breath, pull in through the middle of the body. Uddiyana Bandha works strongly here. Exhale, fold yourself back down. Relax your shoulders. Relax your neck and your gaze. We can feel this long length through the hamstring on that left leg, especially if you're keeping your knee straight. You can definitely feel that hamstring engaging, lengthening. Good, take one more breath. Inhale, exhale. Come forward, lift up, set your strap off to the side. You won't need it for just a moment. Actually, I'm gonna put it over here for my purposes. And let's pull our knees into our chest so we can readjust into downward dog. Come forward, I'm onto my side, sorry, so I can show you. And just get your way up into downward facing dog. Let's do our left side. Inhale, put the left foot forward, drop your right knee down. We're gonna go back to the thing that I forgot. Remember, we were in Anjaneyasana and we reached back for our toe. Oh, I forgot this. This really prepares us for that mermaid pose that we did. So let's just hold it for a moment before we go into pigeon pose, yeah? One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Nice job. Release it. We did it. We balanced ourselves out. Bring your foot down, left leg parallel to the top of the mat as best as you can. And then walk that right leg back. You can place a block underneath your left hip again if you did so on the previous side. And see what you can do to deepen. Bend onto those elbows maybe. Maybe laying over the top. Whatever is best for you, move with your breath. That's the goal. Listen to the breath, move with the breath. Breathe through it. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run off to. Nothing to do but stretch out our hips. Take one more breath here. Inhale, exhale. Good. Lift up onto your hands and take the block out from under your hip and sit down on the left leg there. Left hip. Then bend your right knee back behind you and see if you can grab your right foot. So you might be grabbing it with your hand, kind of like we did in that Anjaneyasana variation. Maybe you can put your foot in the crook of your arm. Maybe you're reaching. Maybe you're grabbing, maybe both hands are grabbing the toe in the position that I cannot show you. But maybe focus on what you're stretching. So I can feel this length in the side of my body. We can feel a back bend. We can feel the quadricep and the psoas. We can feel our shoulder. That's what we want to focus on. Not so much what it looks like. Think about what it feels like. I am certainly not perfect, as you can see. This is not about that. Take one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good job. Now release that. Very nice. Extend your legs forward. Janu Sirsasana A on the left side. So now let's bend our left knee into position. Your strap will go around the right foot. Sit nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, walk your way forward on that leg. Good, go as deep as you can, then take a deep Ujjayi breath. So pull in and up through the middle of the body. Exhale, fold your way down. Relax your shoulders, relax your gaze. Oh, it feels so nice to bend forward. This pose might feel like a little bit of relief after all that we've been doing. We've done some intense hip poses, trying to have fun, just moving through the body, have fun opening up our body. Good, but this is fun because we can relax into our body. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, lift up. You did it. Let's set our strap off to the side and lay ourselves down onto our back for some bridge poses and some additional hip stretches, which should make us feel really nice as we end. So, just 2 bridge poses today, just so you know what's coming. Let's take our hands by our sides to start. Our knees are bent, feet on the floor. From the base of the spine, start to roll up 1 vertebrae at a time and take your hands underneath you, clasp them together. So this pulls our shoulder blades toward each other as we lift. It's going to stretch the front of the body. Feels nice on the quadricep and psoas. Opens up that heart center. And in the meantime, we're strengthening our back body, our glutes, hamstrings, low back. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, release your hands, come on down. The last one, do it however you want it. So you've got blocks, you might place a block underneath your hip and then just relax. Feels really great. You may go back to the bridge pose that we just did, or you can follow me through a wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana. So you take your hands back behind, right by your shoulder blades, press into the floor, and lift up. Definitely more stimulating here. If it's not for you, then come down and choose a different pose. Keep breathing. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. As you come down, bend your neck or chin to your chest. Yeah. And then pull your knees into your chest. So if you've got a block, get it out of the way. Let's all bring our knees into our chest, pressing that curve of the spine to the floor. Good, good. That was definitely some stimulation. And now let's stretch and relax our hips one more time, one more way. So release your feet back down, knees bent, and take your right ankle to the left knee, making a figure 4. Then reach through, grab onto your shin. You can grab the back of the leg. You can take the strap around. We're just trying to pull our legs toward our chest. And our head should come back down to the floor. So if you need to place a pillow underneath, a blanket underneath to help you there, you're welcome to do so. I love this pose because it stretches out the outer hip, same kind of area as our pigeon pose did, but it's so much easier laying on the ground. It can release tension in the sciatic nerve that runs down here, and it presses the curve of the spine to the floor. So really nice on the hips and the low back and the sacrum, which connects all of it together. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Nicely done. Now we'll let go of our foot, our left foot, but let's keep our right knee into our chest. Guide the right leg across your body to the left, and then extend your right arm out. So we're taking one final deep twist. We can feel this reach through the side of our body into our chest and the shoulder on that right side. And we can feel the deep squeeze into the hip and the low back. So try to bring your body to equal. Our arm reaches to the floor, our leg reaches toward the floor. And we just take all the rest of the tension, we breathe it out. Good. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back to the center. Good job. Exhale, release your foot. Bend your knees again back to our figure 4 on the left side. So left ankle to the right knee. Reach through, grab on, lay down. We're pulling our legs toward our chest. Lengthening out the low back, feeling that left hip open up, the sciatic nerve down the back of that left leg, and really relaxing our low back. That feels so nice. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Release the hold. Let the right leg go. Keep your left knee into your chest and guide it across the body to the right. Extend your left arm out. Bring it down to the floor and turn your gaze over the shoulder. We can feel this hip. We can feel the low back. Now intentionally let go of anything else you're holding on to. Any tension, any discomfort. We're gonna just release it. Let it go. Breathe it and twist it out of our body. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Bring your legs back to the middle and come to a butterfly position. One more hip pose. This one lifts the curve of our spine, so you might feel that lift in your back as our pelvis tilts down. It can bring some length to the internal rotators here. You're welcome to place your hands on your legs and just, give a little pressure to them. Let gravity work on our legs. And I'll give you the choice to stay here in your Shavasana. If you were to do that, I would let my arms relax. So bring your arms by your side and palms up. Feel free to stay right here in this gentle hip opener pose. If you are uncomfortable, feel free, of course, to lengthen out your legs and relax in a traditional Shavasana. Either way, I'll leave you here to rest. Your job is just to let your thoughts float around you. You've done your work, and now you're going to ease the body, stretch the body, release the energy, get grounded. Time for you to rest. I will wake you up with the sound of a bell, so have no thoughts to distract you. Just let your thoughts float around you as you rest. Start to wake yourself up. Rotate through your wrists and your ankles. Point and flex your feet. Stretch through your entire body to lengthen. And roll over onto one side in fetal pose. Gently press up to a comfortable seated position and bring your hands to heart center. We'll finish off with this quote by BKS Iyengar. Body is the bow, asana is the arrow, soul is the target. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your soul with me today. Namaste.